Okay, today we're going to talk about classification, and it's actually going to be a lesson for you all in library skills. You're going to have to be able to sort out books so that you can put them away on the shelves, because that's your job as a student sometimes. You have to be able to do that. So there's two main classifications of literature. We're going to start off with this. That doesn't work very well. Literature. Can anyone guess what the two main sections of literature are? Go ahead.
Is it fiction and nonfiction?
Yes, it is. Fiction and nonfiction. Now, if we were to split these up into really big fat books and really skinny books, it would be kind of weird in a library, would it not? We'd have to have really, most of them might be children's books, but then we'd have these really fat books, and you wouldn't be able to find. You just have like a catalog system of fat books and small books. Okay, so we have to split them into a little bit more detailed types of categories. So what I'm going to have you guys do tonight, actually, is split up some books that I brought into categories. And the way that we're going to do it is I'm going to time you. You're going to have to work together. I'm going to have to get it all put away as quickly as possible. Okay? But first we're going to come up with some various categories that might be back there. Some of them might not. I will write them down on the side if I did not include them. Okay? So why don't you give me some different categories of what you might find under fiction. Pretend you're going to a bookstore and if you're looking for something in particular.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Okay, I didn't do that one. I didn't have any sci-fi really. But that is one that we would put under fiction. There's a lot. There's a ton under fiction. So sci-fi is one. Can anyone else give me another one?
Fantasy.
Fantasy is another one. I did not include that.
Historical fiction.
Historical fiction is one that I did include. What would be like an historical fiction book? Would it be based in reality, something that actually happened, but there would be a story. What'd you say?
Forever and
Is that, I don't know that book.
Like Titanic.
Slaughterhouse
maybe.
Five.
Yeah, oh, yes. Or like the Jungle Book, or not the Jungle.
Upton Sinclair.
That was on NPR today. Did you know that? Okay. I'm sorry, give me some more.
Romance novels.
Romance novels, I did not include that.
You're not hitting us on the nose.
No sci-fi, no romance. What's going on?
I know, well, there's so many. You wouldn't believe there's more than you can imagine.
Crime, mystery.
Mystery, I do
Ooh,
have that.
mystery.
Okay. How about, what would Edgar Allan Poe fall under?
Horror.
Well, sort of. But he's a poet.
Poetry.
Okay.
Poetry.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give you some
He's a
more. If you can't
storyteller,
think.
too.
Horror, I did come up with some horror ones.
Okay.
That's sort of like a mystery, so we'll do horror. If I could spell. There we go. Okay, what about for younger kids? What would be a couple of categories for younger kids?
Fairy tales.
Fairy tales. So why don't we put just children's books? We'll put children's. Because that would fall under. And what did you say, Dixie? Did you say something? No? I thought you did. How about young adult books? So young
Sports.
Perfect. Sports. Okay. And I will give you a couple more that have not been classic.
No, that's an animal.
The classics.
You said what?
Animals.
Animals? That would be under nonfiction, probably.
Babe?
Oh, well, okay. I guess, that could be a category, so we'll put that down. I was
Like
thinking
animal
more along
stories.
these- Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I've got all of them that I came up with. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, so now there's many under nonfiction as well. I want to see how many you guys can come up with that I came up with, and then if you come up with some more that I did not come up with, then I'll put them off to the side. What would be a nonfiction category of a book?
Atlas.
Biography. What's something that's like a biography but it's called something different?
Autobiography.
Thank you. Why is there a difference? Does anyone know?
Autobiography, you write yourself.
That's right. So someone could write something about Thomas Jefferson and hadn't lived, obviously, in his time. And that would be a biography, but an autobiography would be written by Thomas Jefferson himself, would it not? But I don't know if there is one out there, now that I think about it.
There's letters.
There are letters. Okay, anybody else have any other ideas of some nonfiction type literature that you would find?
An atlas.
What'd you say?
An atlas.
Atlas, I like that. Okay. Anybody else? How about a how-to book? How-to?
History.
Self-help?
Yeah,
That's, and what were you gonna say?
History.
History? You know what I'm gonna include that under? I'm gonna put textbook.
Text.
I mean, there's history, for sure. But I'm gonna make that as though it's sort of like a textbook, okay? So I'm gonna include that. And what was self-help?
Science.
Science.
Even
Religion.
though some are theoretical, but they still fall under nonfiction.
That's true. Yeah, or some of them could be other fiction.
It depends on your perspective.
Not today.
Depends on if you follow it or not. Okay, so there are more categories. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to practice by just glancing at a book and deciding what category it goes under. So when I say go, you don't have to run because we aren't little kids. We aren't going to cause an accident or anything. But on the back table, if you'll take a look, there's a stack of books, and then there's labels. On the first table is nonfiction, and on the second table is fiction books. So I'd like you to practice what we just talked about here, and I would like you to see how many of you can get it right. I will double check your work, and some of them may be controversial, and so you might be able to persuade me that one is I'm like, oh wait, what I wanted to do was put a textbook out there. Forgot to do that.